Imagine waking up on the first of the month, checking your bank account and your social security check. No warning, no letter, no explanation, just less money sitting in your account than you. If that has happened to you, or if you are worried it might, what you are about to hear could be the most important financial information you come across. Millions of American retirees right now are receiving less from Social Security than they expected. They paid into the system their entire working lives, a certain number, and now that number keeps shrinking. The truth is, there isn't just one reason this happens. There are several, and they are all working against you at the same time. By the end of this video, you will know exactly. If you want to stay ahead of the news that directly affects your retirement income, subscribe to Macro Signal. Thousands of retirees count on this channel to break down exactly what is happening to their money in plain English. No confusion. No, hit that subscribe button before we go any further, because what is coming next could change how you think about every single check you receive from this point forward. Start with something that quietly drains money from Social Security checks every single month, and most people do not fully understand how. If you are enrolled in Medicare Part B, which covers your doctor visits and outpatient care, your monthly premium is not billed to you separately. It is automatically pulled out of your Social Security check before it ever reaches your bank account. You'll never see that money. It is gone. In 2026, the standard Medicare Part B premium jumped to $206.50. That is a $21.50 increase from the previous year, pulled directly from your check every single month before you think about what that looks like in real life. Meet Barbara, a 72-year-old retired school teacher from Ohio. When she heard that Social Security was giving recipients a raise this year, she got genuinely excited. She started thinking about what she might finally be able to afford. But when a January check arrived, it was barely different from what she had been receiving. The premium increase had consumed most of her cost of living adjustment before she ever saw a single dollar. Convinced there had been a billing error, she called her son. She almost called a lawyer, but there was no mistake. That is simply how the system works, and nobody had ever explained. Retirees with higher incomes, it gets significantly worse. The government uses something called IRMAA, the income-related monthly adjustment, to charge higher earners even more for their Medicare coverage. If your retirement income crosses certain thresholds, your Part B premium can jump to $300, $400, even $500 a month or more, all automatically deducted from your Social Security check. Many retirees who fall into these brackets are stunned the first time they see how little is left after Medicare takes its share. They earned more, saved more, and somehow end up with less each month than neighbors who save nothing. Let us talk about the raise that does not always feel like a raise. Every year, Social Security adjusts benefits based on inflation through something called the cost of living adjustment, the COLA. For 2026, that adjustment was set at 2.8%. On paper, that sounds like progress for the average retiree receiving around $2,070 per month. That works out to roughly $58 more before any deductions. But here is the part that almost nobody talks about. That same year, Medicare Part B premiums increased by $21.50 per month. So before you ever had a chance to spend your raise, more than a third of it had already disappeared. But there is a deeper problem with how the COLA is calculated that goes beyond the numbers. The formula is tied to a general inflation index that tracks the spending habits of working-age Americans, not retirees. Seniors spend a far larger share of their budgets on healthcare, prescription drugs, and housing. These are categories that have been inflating at rates that consistently outpace the general index. So year after year, seniors technically receive a raise. And year after year, their actual purchasing power quietly shrinks. The raise shows up in the press release. The pain shows up in your wallet. Here is something that genuinely stuns retirees when they first learn about it, and the reason it stuns them is because nobody ever warned them. Social Security benefits can be taxed. Many people spend their entire careers assuming that Social Security would arrive as completely tax-free income. For some people, it does. But for a growing number of American retirees, a significant portion of those benefits is subject to federal income tax. Stop and think about that for a moment. You paid taxes on your earnings your whole life. A portion of every paycheck went into Social Security. And now, in retirement, the government can tax you again on the benefits you receive from that same system. It feels deeply unfair, and for many retirees, it is. Up to 50% of your Social Security benefits become taxable. Push past $34,000 as a single filer or $44,000 as a couple, and up to 85% of your benefits can be taxed. Now here is what makes this situation truly infuriating. Those income thresholds were set in 1983 and 1993. They have never once been adjusted for inflation, not once in over 40 years, as pension payments, investment income, and part-time work have slowly grown over the decades. More and more retirees cross those thresholds every single year, not because they are wealthy, but simply because inflation has pushed their numbers higher, while the government's line in the sand has never moved. If you want to stay informed about tax law changes that could affect your Social Security benefits, and there are proposals moving through Washington right now that could shift these rules significantly, make sure you are subscribed to Macro Signal. We track every policy change that touches your retirement income and explain it in plain language that actually makes sense. Subscribe now and never miss an update. One of the most permanent reasons some seniors receive smaller checks than others comes down to a decision they made years, sometimes decades ago. A decision that, at the time, may have felt completely reasonable. That decision is when they chose to start claiming Social Security. You can begin collecting as early as age 6, but claiming early locks in a permanently reduced benefit for the rest of your life. And permanently is a word that deserves to be taken seriously. Remember Barbara from Ohio. She is not the only one navigating this. Meet Roberto, a retired construction worker from Texas. He started claiming Social Security at 62 because he needed the income. His knees were giving out after 30 years on job sites. He was not sure his health would hold up long enough to make waiting worth it. That was a completely reasonable decision for his life at the time. But now, at 74, Robert is healthier than he ever expected to be, and he is receiving significantly less every single month than his neighbor across the street, who waited until 67 to claim. That get compounds over years. Over a 20-year retirement, the difference can easily run into the tens of thousands of dollars, and there is no way to undo it. For someone whose full retirement age is 67, claiming at 62 can reduce benefits by 30%. But on the other end, for every year you delay claiming past your full retirement age, your monthly check grows by 8%. Wait until 70, and you receive a benefit that is 24% higher than if you had claimed at. If you have not yet started claiming and you have any flexibility at all, this is a calculation that deserves serious attention. There is another reason some seniors are seeing reduced checks right now that has been making national headlines. The SSA has acknowledged that over the years it sent out billions of dollars in payments it now says were mistakes. Sometimes these were administrative errors. Sometimes they resulted from changes in income that were never properly recorded. When the SSA identifies an overpayment, it has the legal authority to recover that money by reducing your future benefit checks. In some of the most alarming cases, the SSA was withholding 100% of a retiree's monthly check until the debt was recovered. After significant public outrage, the SSA scaled back its default recovery rate to 10% of monthly benefits, but even a 10% reduction can be devastating for someone whose entire month depends on that check arriving in full. If you ever receive a notice from the SSA saying you were overpaid, do not panic, but do not ignore it either. You can request a waiver of repayment if it would create financial hardship and the overpayment was not your fault. The critical thing is to respond within the deadline printed on the notice. Silence is not a strategy here. Here is a situation that catches many retirees off guard. You decide to pick up a part-time job after retirement, maybe to stay active. maybe because the bills genuinely require it. But if you have not yet reached full retirement age, earning too much can trigger reductions in 2026. If you are under full retirement age and earn more than $24,480, benefits are withheld. Social Security will withhold $1 in benefits for every $2 you earn above that limit. The withheld money is not permanently lost once you reach full retirement age. The SSA recalculates your benefit and credits you back. It is one of the most common surprises in retirement, and it is completely avoidable once you know the rule exists. Everything we have just covered: the Medicare deductions, the COLA gap, the taxes, the claiming penalties, and the overpayment risks. What can you actually do? The answer starts with something simple that most retirees have never done. Go to SSA.gov and create a free account. This account shows you your full benefit statement, your complete lifetime earnings history, and exactly what deductions are being applied to your payments each month. Most people have never logged in. They are completely in the dark about what is coming out of their check and why. That ends today. Once you understand what is happening, you can start to push back where the rules allow it. If you are being charged higher Medicare premiums through IRMAA, and your income has dropped significantly since the year being used, you can file a direct appeal with the SSA. This is called a life-changing event appeal, and it can meaningfully reduce your monthly premium deduction. Most people never know this option is available. When it comes to taxes on your benefits, talking to a qualified tax professional about the timing of your retirement account withdrawals can make a difference. The way you draw from IRAs, when you take distributions, whether a Roth conversion makes sense, all of these decisions affect your Social Security tax. There are completely legal strategies that could reduce your tax burden, and most retirees never explore them simply because nobody told them they existed. And if you have not yet started claiming, do not treat that decision casually. Model the real numbers. Look at what claiming at 62 means. Look at the difference between 67 and 74. Your monthly income over a 20 or 30-year retirement. The free tools can help. A financial planner can help you factor in your health and your specific situation. This single decision will have more long-term impact than almost any other. Social Security was built as a promise, a guarantee that a lifetime of work would translate into real financial security when you finally needed it. But between Medicare premiums, a COLA formula that does not reflect actual spending, and tax thresholds, a lot is silently chipping away at your check. Barbara now understands why her raise disappeared before she ever saw it. Robert now understands why his neighbor's check is bigger every single month. And now, you understand it too. That knowledge is not just information, it is protection. Share this video with someone you care about. If this content helps you navigate retirement with more clarity and confidence, subscribe to Macro Signal. Hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. Drop a comment below telling us if any of this has happened to you. Like this video if it gave you something valuable. Social Security is too important to leave to guesswork. Stay informed, stay protected, and we will see you in the next.